In the study of crime and deviance, it's important to note that both criminal and deviant behaviour are socially constructed. That is, they are dependent upon the social location in which the act occurs. Factors influencing whether or not something is criminal or deviant include time, age, gender, cultural norms and values. All of this means that crime and deviance are subjective. They depend upon social opinion, upon the norms and values of a society. Sociological theories often look to explain crime and deviance by examining the causes of crime, but this is not the only area that they look at. Sociologists also consider the impact of crime on the orderliness of society, the social order, and look to explain how those in power try to maintain social order through methods of social control. In this video, we're going to take a brief overview of how each of the main sociological approaches view crime, deviance, social order, and social control in society. Functionalists are one of the earliest group of sociologists to examine the function of crime and deviance in society and how it impacts on the social order and how society controls people's behaviours. They argue that social order and social control are maintained through adherence to the collective conscience of society, that is, society's moral code about what is right and wrong. Durkheim focused on the impacts of crime on the established social order and suggested that crime has both positive and negative impacts on social order and social control. And we'll examine Durkheim's functions of crime and deviance in our next video. Another functionalist, Merton, suggests that it is the existing social order that causes crime. Society is unequal, yet social structures expect people to conform to an idealised set of norms and values. While Hershey, a later functionalist, explained the role of social control in preventing deviant behaviour, arguing that those less integrated into society are more likely to become criminal. Subcultural theories of crime and deviance mostly fall under the broader banner of functionalism, particularly given the role that they assign to socialisation in the process of deviant activities. Subcultural theorists such as Cohen and Cloward Nolan suggest that some groups in society react to the norms and values of society because they're unable to achieve socially approved goals. As a result of structural disadvantages, they seek opportunities to gain status through membership of subcultural groups. These groups have often reacted to society's value consensus and set up norms and values of their own in opposition. This helps them to achieve status, something they are denied in wider society, and often this status comes from criminal and deviant activities, as a reaction to being rejected by mainstream society. Marxist views of crime and deviance focused on the unequal power relationships between the ruling and the working classes. Traditional Marxists will suggest that the ruling class use their power to exert control over the working classes through ideology and through physical force, what Althusser referred to as the ideological and repressive state apparatuses. Alongside these controls, the ruling class will ignore the crimes of the powerful and have excessive focus on the crimes of the powerless, often through using other institutions such as the media, religion and family to centre on disciplining the working class. Neo-Marxists suggest that individuals often develop a form of agency in response to the excessive controls of the ruling class, and that this results in criminal behaviours that are a form of resistance against the exploitation and oppression they face. Marxists also suggest that the ruling class use punishment as a form of control over the masses, in the hope that excessive punishment will reinforce social order. Feminists, perhaps unsurprisingly, focus on the different levels of control over males and females and how this is reflected in reporting, recording and punishment of crime. Both Heidenson and Carlin suggest that women are subjected to social controls that limit their opportunities to commit crime and are effectively policed through informal controls on their behaviour in society, which constrains them. Others, such as Adler, suggest that controls on women are diminishing and suggests that this has led to increased female criminality. Interactionists see crime as a result of the interactions between individuals. They also suggest that deviance is not defined by the individual but by wider society, particularly agencies such as media, religion, education and family. They also suggest that the media is used as a form of social control over deviant behaviours, often amplifying petty offences and generating moral panics and folk devils, usually portraying the underdogs of society in a negative light. Interactionists also focus on the process of labelling as a form of social control, leading to social isolation for those labelled as criminal or deviant, which forces them to obtain status from others that have also been marginalised. And finally, realist theories. Now, realist theories see crime as a serious problem in society and one that requires realistic solutions. Closely associated with different political ideologies on the left and right realists both advocate means to solve crime. However, they differ drastically in their approaches to this. Right realists focus on controlling individuals through time, social spaces, and indeed personal freedoms. Those that do not conform have reduced opportunities to commit crime or are subjected to harsher punishments if they do commit crime, including prison sentences. Left realists, however, look to restore social order through tackling the inequalities that are present in society.